Welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. In this video, I'd like to talk about the Cervo Volante Big Crown Pointer date that Oris unveiled at the end of 2021. It's a smaller 38mm size of the Big Crown Pointer date, and they released it in 3 gradient dial configurations that are meant to remind you of colors or hues that you will find in an alpine environment or a mountainous environment. Now, personally, I grew up at the base of the Chugach Range in Alaska. I've been around mountains almost my entire life, and I've spent a lot of time hiking and camping and being in the mountains. And seeing these watches and hearing the inspiration, the design inspiration, I could definitely see that correlation. My favorite was the blue dial. It borders on green. It's like a bluish green. It reminded me of a couple lakes and rivers that I was, around in Alaska. Very unique in the shade, and they really pop when you come across them in nature against spruce and evergreen and aspen and whatnot. And I don't know what causes the shade. I don't know if it's a specific blend of glacial silt mixed with plant life in the water. I don't know what it is, but it's very beautiful. And that bluish green dial, it reminds me of that. And that's my favorite iteration of the 3. The other 2 look really good too. My second favorite is the gray dial, which kind of reminds me of when you get to the peak, when you get to the summit, and you've passed that line of elevation where plants and trees and shrubs grow, and you're in more of the rocky outcroppings. That's the color that I'm seeing there with the gray, and it's a nice subtle gray. That one is my second favorite. And then the last is the green. It's a darker, more forest green that I associate with those spruce and evergreens and whatnot. So the color palette for the Cervo Volante, I think, is really nice. And then there's also something else unique about this release. It is the strap and the pouch that these watches come in. They're made from sustainable deer leather by Cervo Volante, hence the name Cervo Volante for the model. Cervo Volante is a company that creates sustainable leather goods, and they're utilizing 2 different tanneries in Switzerland, and they're creating, obviously, these deer leather straps and watch pouches. Now, deer leather, at least in my experience, very uncommon as a material for a watch band, so I like the fact that it's a little uncommon. In fact, I have one. I have a pouch here. Let me show it to you, this watch roll. This is done in that sustainable deer leather. It's got a nice tone. It has darker contrast stitching. And then you open it up and you'll see a suede finish for the interior. And notice the discoloration. Notice the imperfections here. Cervo Volante utilizes leather that's generally scrapped and tossed by other tanneries. And, if it's going to go to waste, they don't want it to go to waste. It can make a strap. It can make a watch roll. And seeing that discoloration, seeing the imperfection, that's part of the experience. It's part of the sustainability. It's part of utilizing materials that would go to waste. And you have to, I guess you could say, understand that appeal. And in my opinion, that is very much Oris. They have worked a lot with environmental cleanup groups or charitable organizations for promoting, a number of different conservation efforts. The sustainability aspect, I think they value very much as a brand. And so this feels like a very natural pairing, the Big Crown Pointer date with deer leather from Cervo Volante. I think that's pretty cool. So this watch will not come in one of those recyclable gray boxes that we generally get with Oris. You'll get a leather pouch. And I've got to say, I've been using this quite a bit. Over the past couple months, I've taken various watches to areas in the valley here in Utah where I like to film and gather footage for my reviews. So this has come in handy. This was a gift. This was part of the swag bag that we got as press members at this event in Vail, Colorado. I also got a really cool sweater and a fountain pen. So that was really kind of Oris. But regardless, let's continue here. Let's talk about the Big Crown Pointer date as a model, because I think that's important. It has been produced in an unbroken fashion for over 80 years now. It first debuted in 1938. And there are very few brands out there that can lay claim to the fact that they have a design that they've I can't talk, that they have been producing for so many decades. It speaks to the strength of the design, that it's being received well by the public. It's staying relevant by, being tweaked and added upon from a brand to enhance the product. And if you look at Oris's product catalog right now, you'll see a good mix of dial colors, of sizes, of case materials, bracelet versus deer leather versus, the different strap options that they have, even different movement choices from Solita to their in-house designed and produced caliber 400 base. So I think there's a flavor of the Big Crown Pointer date for you. And the fact that they've been making it for 80 years and plan on making it for another 80 years, I think that's just a strong thing. So I like this release. I like the colors. I like the gradient dial. I like the sustainable deer leather aspect, the collaboration with Cervo Volante. I think this is pretty strong. Now let's talk about areas for improvement. This is just my personal opinion. You guys know me. I am a bracelet fan. I would love to see a gray bracelet paired with this specific watch as an option. I don't want to take away the deer leather strap, from this package, but as an option, I would like that. I know Oris makes a great bracelet for the Big Crown Pointer date with a pleasant taper, full articulation in the links, screw pins connecting the links together, a nice milled clasp, multiple micro adjustment anchoring positions. I think especially these alpine inspired dials, they would look good on a bracelet. You take the case and you pair it with the bracelet and you have that marriage of a desaturated stainless steel. It helps the dial pop. It helps accentuate the color of that gradient dial. So imagine that bluish green with a full bracelet. I think that would just be so nice. Personally. Now, another thing is I'd like to see more anti-reflective treatments on the crystal. There's a box crystal, the shape of it, it picks up a lot of light play. It picks up a lot of reflections. And so I'd like to see more clarity so I can look at the cathedral hands. I can look at the crescent tipped pointer hand with that color at the end. I can see the details of the dial to a high degree of clarity. Overall, it's a pleasant design with the fluted bezel, the big crown, the shape of the case. I think this is a fun release. But what do you guys think? Do you like the 38 millimeter size? Do you like the gradient dials? Do you like the Solita movement? Do you like the sustainable deer leather? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Now, I think there are a couple areas for improvement. One is offer a bracelet as an option. Get mom! I'm filming! Get mom, I'm filming! Sorry, I'm a dad. I don't know if you could hear my kids calling me from upstairs. Pardon that interruption.